Hi, I'm Allegra Houston, and thank you for tuning in to the Imaginative Storm Writing Prompt of the Week. My creative collaborator, James Nave, isn't able to make this video with me this week, so I'm flying solo. So what we do every week is we offer a writing prompt to anyone who wants to work with it, either live with us on Zoom or here on YouTube later. And the purpose of this is really just to stretch and strengthen your imaginative muscles. It's just to mix some metaphors here, very much the tip of the iceberg of what we do. It's the fun part. It's playtime. It's the goal of this is not to learn anything or to write something good, whatever that means, but simply to surprise yourself, to write something that you didn't think you would ever write. You had no idea this was in you, but it is. And you will find that the longer you work with the Imaginative Storm method, the more you will surprise yourself, the more curiosity will be engaged, and the more fun and satisfaction you will have with your writing. So the way we do the prompt of the week, and we do it on Saturday and Thursday, and you're very much welcome to join us on Zoom, join our mailing list, and you'll get the invitations and the Zoom links. The way we do it is we choose a prompt, Nave and I, which is usually a visual prompt. Sometimes it's an image, occasionally it's a video. And we put it up on the screen for 2 minutes. We ask everybody on the Zoom to write a list of words during those 2 minutes. Whatever words pop into your head as you look at this image, write them down in a list. This isn't joined up writing. It's just a list of single words or short phrases. So I will put the image up now, and when you've made your list, we'll come back and I'll tell you what comes next. So here's the image. Once everyone has made their own personal list of words, we then go around the Zoom room and ask everyone to contribute one item from their list to make a community list. And the great thing about this is you can borrow from other people's imagination and not just have to rely on your own. But I think of it actually more as like creating a communal imagination, a collective imagination that we can all basically kind of go swimming in. So here is this Saturday's group list of words, and you can write them down if you like, add them to your list as I read them out. I think there's value to that, but don't worry if you don't do that. I will put up the list again during the 10-minute writing time, which is coming up. So here is today's list of words. Angry clouds, rob the bank, reflector, ship drip, rescue or destroy, stay steady, fluorescent spaceships, alien ley lines, makes me want to cry, sky coal, lights dashing, freeze style, two ships passing in the light, destination unknown, here and there. Are we in the Navy? Third grade classroom, fluorescent lights, race to nowhere, get some Windex, shedding light, bird poop on the glass. So you now have two lists of words and phrases, the ones you made yourself, and the group list. So these are basically toys for your imagination to play with while you write for 10 minutes. That is the next thing coming up. And like all toys, they don't all have to be used. You know, if you've ever had a kid and they're in a playpen or a playroom or something, they'll play with some of the toys, but some of them they'll just ignore. And some of them they'll throw away, some of them they hate. So don't feel you have to use all these words. In fact, you don't have to use any of them at all if you don't want to. But what we recommend that you do is simply let your eyes roam over the two lists until you kind of land on a word or a phrase that hooks you, and start there. And you don't have to know where you're going to go from there. Just see where it takes you. So don't use your rational mind to think, well, what should I write? What could I write with these words? Which words go together? All that kind of stuff. We're going to encourage you to ask your rational mind to take a back seat here and let your imagination drive the car. So your imagination is in the lead. Your rational mind is just along for the ride. It can't jump out of the car. It's not going to collapse in a heap or start trying to grab the steering wheel. Don't let it do that. Your rational mind's job here is to allow your imagination to go wherever it wants, to be as incoherent, irrational, playful, whatever your imagination wants to do. Your rational mind can go, oh, look at that. Well, that's kind of weird, isn't it? That doesn't make any sense, but whatever, we'll carry on. So the goal, as I said earlier, is simply to surprise yourself. You can write long or short, you can write fast or slow, you can write prose or poetry, you can write coherent or incoherent, whatever you feel like doing, inspired by something on these lists or simply inspired by the original prompt that you look at. It's your 10 minutes and it starts now. After everyone has written for 10 minutes, we then break up into Zoom rooms so that people can read what they wrote aloud to an appreciative audience, because of course there's no point in criticizing something that was only written in 10 minutes. How it's not supposed to be good. How can it be good when you only wrote it in 10 minutes? In fact, much of what we all write is actually very good indeed. And in my case, certainly better than what I could have written in an hour. I find that weirdly, this 10-minute time constriction actually releases my own constriction around wanting to write well. So the value of reading aloud is that you develop a different relationship with your writing that is more appreciative also and less critical. When you read silently on the page, you tend to have a lot of judgment about what's not good. But when you read it aloud, it's animated, it has the warmth of your voice. You're personally sending it out into the world, making patterns, sound waves on the air. And you notice what you appreciate more than what you don't like. You actually get a little dopamine rush when you read out something that you like, and you might not even have remembered that it was there. So even if you're in an empty room, it's not empty, you're in it, and you are your most important audience. So you might be glad you're in an empty room and don't have any external audience, but whatever room you're in, put me on pause now and read what you wrote aloud. So I hope you actually did that. I hope you did read what you wrote aloud. It is a very important part of the imaginative storm method. It may not be obvious the first time or two that you do it, but with practice, you'll realize how very valuable it is for finding your voice, for retraining your inner critic into a voice that actually helps and supports you rather than criticizes you and makes you despair. It's a great editing tool also. You may have found as you were reading that you wanted to change some things. I have found that it helps me to read out aloud everything I write before I hand it in. And that tells me what I need to change. Things just kind of don't feel right. Your body can become, you can kind of calibrate your authenticity meter that is your body and your voice. So before I go further, I also want to credit that photograph. It was taken by Susie Shipman, who is one of our regular Prompt of the Week writers, and it was taken on the ferry from Orcas Island to the mainland in Washington State. So as I said, if you would like to write with us, you are very welcome to join us. The Prompt of the Week sessions are free. Join our mailing list, or simply click on the link in the footer at imaginativestorm.com for Saturday and Thursday. They're pretty clear. And you can come at 9 a.m. Pacific or noon Eastern time on a Saturday, or 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on a Thursday. And we start promptly. So this is not something that you can kind of, wander in 15 minutes late. We'll already be further down the road by then. So please do join us. Please check out imaginativestorm.com, and you'll find that we offer all kinds of workshops. There's two self-paced online courses that you might find interesting. And you will also, if you go to the community page and scroll down a little bit, find something called Imaginative Storm on Circle. Circle is a different platform where we also post all of these Prompt of the Weeks. We've been doing it for over 3 years now, so there's over 150 in that growing archive. And you can read what other people wrote to the prompt, and you can post what you yourself wrote to the prompt, and we will read it and appreciate what we like about it, and hope one of these days to meet you in virtual person. So thank you again for tuning in to this video.